Feliz Navidad! Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Solstice! Can't we put our differences aside for one night?
Hey there, this is your math dude with too much time on his hands, Duma here with another video. Since the days are getting colder and the homes are getting brighter, you know what's something I associate with the holidays? Nostalgia. And you know what's something nostalgic for me that I still like watching to this day? Spectacular Spiderman. And since it's almost the holidays, we're going into a very festive episode today from Season 2, Episode 3, Reinforcements. I just really love this episode. It encapsulates a lot of the holiday feels in a 22-minute episode. It has everything you need. It has holiday scenery, and it has Spider-Man doing his quips. It has nice snow to encapsulate the feeling. It's just nice. But before I get into the actual video, if you end up liking this video, you want to see more videos like this, please let me know in the comments down below and like it. It helps a lot. If that's everything, let's get into the actual episode. You know, if you just go into the episode, it looks so nice. Just snow pouring down for the holidays. It's sweet. And then we go into a bar, and then we see Peter beating up some criminals for some information because he's trying to find Mysterio's tech, because that's from a different episode. Then he leads him into a very famous bar that's shown in the show pretty often. Leads him to Blackie Gaston, the guy who owns the bar. Which, for one, this guy's name is like the most 40s name ever, at least to me. What do you think? But he basically interrogates him in the most Spider-Man way possible. He basically just sits there.
What gonna do if I climb up?
Blackie, give me 2-1 on Spider-Man. Bye!
I don't know, maybe just hang out a while.
Okay.
He doesn't do anything. He doesn't, like, threaten him with, like, violence or anything like that. He just kind of like, you know what, I'm just gonna stay here. And any bad guy who comes in to do any gambling, they just see Spider-Man's like, I don't want to face his wrath. And so they just leave, which is hilarious because Blackie does reveal what Spider-Man wants to know, which is hilarious. And we see something else in the background. And then the beautiful theme song that's so iconic plays in, which is awesome. And then we just see a nice little prison for all the bad guys that Spider-Man has put away, which is so nice. He gives them a place that gives them 3 square meals a day, nice warm bed. And then we see closer for Vulture and Mysterio. Turns out they're fake. They've escaped, of course they have, because of that one specific thing we saw before of someone who got them. And it looks like they're creating something new. We go into a little psych ward. Oh, it's nice. People getting help for the holiday. That's sweet. And wait, hold up. Is that Cletus Cassidy? Are we gonna see Carnage?
That's encouraging news, Cletus. But it was Max's turn to speak.
I hope we get to see him more in this show. Damn it. We also see Dr. Octavius being all suspicious, looking upset and not wanting to do anything with his crime. And then we see Electro just acting like a child, which is really weird to me. Like, I noticed in this show, he just acts like a complete child. And I do want to say I love his design in this show. It's a great mix of the classic Goofy costume and the Ultimate Universe's blue electricity, where he's just electricity instead. It's a nice concept of the yellow for the electricity, and the jumpsuit is to keep him, being alright, which is a nice touch. They're getting treatment from Dr. Kafka to help them. And everything's going well until, oh no. Ah! Who's that? Ah! Oh, forgot. We get Kraven here. Oh my god, I hate this design. I'm usually fine with how Kraven gets superpowers, because normally Kraven does have superpowers. I think people forget that from the comics. Thanks to the new PS5 Spider-Man 2 game, we get to see Kraven have powers. Before that, we had whatever this furry monstrosity was.
Understand, Doctor. Kraven is sent to liberate you and Electro.
If you want to see me talk about that weird episode where he gets that transformation, let me know in the comments down below. That would be an interesting conversation to have. But we see Octavius doesn't want to go with him. He does not want to be associated with all the criminal stuff anymore. Like, he genuinely looks like he doesn't want to be part of the villainy anymore. And so Electro just kind of ditches and leaves him with a furry Kraven, which I'm calling him. And then we see that they're actually creating a new Sinister Six. And one thing I actually like about this version of Sinister Six, it's more in line with the actual comics, because they have Vulture, Electro, Sandman, Raven, and Mysterio. But instead of Dr. Octopus, they have Rhino for story reasons. That I will get into that too later on. Their mission, of course, is to stop Spider-Man. And the Master Planner has a plan. How that plan goes. Then we see Peter trying to have some fun, you know, at the skate park. With a nice Christmas tree right there. And we see him try to chit-chat with Liz, and she says she's going to teach him how to skate well. And it's just really sweet. But I forget that she's still dating Flash, and that goes anywhere, because she just blows off Peter. I'm like, damn, that's harsh. And then so he tries to talk to Gwen, but because they have this rocky thing because she kissed him and he didn't do anything, which is really bad on Peter's part. I gotta say, that's just bad on your part in general. Like, I know he's supposed to be a teenager, but like, dang, that's bad. And even MJ calls him out on that front. And even it looks like he's trying to wrist her up as well. I'm like, dang, Peter, you gotta stop, because it looks like MJ's into it too, which is also really strange.
Getting it done.
Don't suppose you'd help a poor, distractible boy sort through all this?
I sort better with Coco.
Sorting Coco coming right up.
This is where you show Peter's like actual confidence side. Like, dang. So she actually asks him for some hot cocoa, and he gets spilled on him on his mouth when he's trying to drink it. He actually gets a burnt tongue, which then gets me into a weird little situation where I'm like, wait, does he not get immune from his tongue? Because usually Spider-Man gets a lot of damage on the outside. Does his insides of his body just not work that strong either? Because it's hot cocoa. It's not like poison or anything. I guess his insides just don't work so well, because we see Spider-Man get himself so much damage even in this one episode.
When we're done with you, there won't be enough left to stuff my stocking.
But then we get into this funny little gag where the villains come up to capture Spider-Man. They have Vulture and Electro there to get him, so they cause a commotion, and Peter has to suit up with the lift that he can't talk because he's burnt it, which becomes funny because he's trying to speak to them, and they don't even know what he's saying, and he's trying to quip, which is hilarious.
You wall crawling!
Now, watch the mouth. They're children present. What? I burned my tongue, okay? Vicky? Is that a revolving door at that prison? What? I really need to stop with the banter until the tongue's had time to heal. You know, for an evil old knob, you make a lovely ornament. Ooh, a Christmas tree? The Christmas tree? Farce.
I think people forget of how smart Peter is in the sense of how he fights them. He's tactical, which is really cool, because the way he stops Vulture is just super fun. He basically makes him paranoid with his earpiece, and makes him not pay attention, and makes him trapped in a Christmas tree, which is cool. And we just see one thing that when I was a kid, I didn't know that tires were made out of rubber, and that rubber was non-conductive. And this actually taught me that when, Spider-Man fought Electro, and I'm like, what? That's interesting. That's something you don't learn often, but that was cool for me. So we see him stop them, and then we see the other part of the Sinister Six come in, like Sandman and Rhino, and they're rocking his clock like a bunch, like they're beating him up badly. Which, ow. And we see the way he stops them is one with Sandman is just basically freeze him because of how cold he is. And it makes me think about something. How cold does Spider-Man have to be? He's fighting. Is it because he's moving a lot that he doesn't feel cold? Because it's still chilly. He's wearing just spandex. He's not really wearing anything underneath that. At least what we've seen in the show. He does not wear anything underneath that except underwear. So he's probably very cold underneath there. Unless he's got like some spider powers of heating up, which is weird. So Sandman gets stopped, but then Rhino, he basically drowns the dude. Spider-Man drowns Rhino by basically leading him into the ocean. I'm like, wait, Spidey, you do realize he's really heavy, and I don't think he can get up. Now, I don't know what kind of policeman decided, you know what, I'm going to pick up from like the ocean, but he's got some balls. That's what he got. That's some Christmas miracle right there. And then we see him go after Kraven and Mysterio, which is in like a little mall, which is nice because we get to see more Christmas decorations and more holiday stuff. That all gets destroyed. And Peter, of course, with the quips is hilarious. This is where I actually prefer, like, I'm gonna be honest, I prefer this version of Mysterio than the MCU, to be honest, abilities wise, because what I like about this one is that yes, he has illusions, but he mixes those illusions with practical stuff. Like he has a little dragon here. It's like, okay, what thing is that? It's like, oh, it's like a little machine that blows out fire, but it's shaped like a dragon, so he can actually become the dragon. And Peter has to be smart about that. It's just cool. With Kraven, he kind of just has to like beat him up and make him lose his smell, because Kraven can smell him. Of course he can with his animal powers. So he has to blind him with some like cologne. And I'm like, that's smart. Do you think that hurts even more? Because like there's a lot of clones where that hurts, but this is like a really defined smell, like nostril, and I just think that must hurt. So that's how he beats him. And it looks like all the criminals are down. So he basically comes back as Peter and talks to everyone, but they're all mad. But Gwen especially is mad at him for, basically leaving. So, yeah. And we get to see in the psych ward where Octavius got taken by his own arms. Which I'm like, oh my god. How does that work? Like, who's controlling it if it's not him? But then we get to see what happens later. And then we see a nice, sweet scene at the end where Peter has Christmas with Aunt May, and it's really sweet, where it has this entire scene, and it's just so sweet to watch.
Here, open yours.
Oh, Peter, it's lovely.
I figured it's our first Christmas without him. I wanted to find a way to...
He's here, Peter. He's always here.
It gives you the good feels of the holidays, and that's a very sweet Spider-Man episode, how it ends. So that's reinforcements that this episode was amazing. It's not just as a standalone Spider-Man episode, but as a nice little holiday special. The way it progresses of the holidays, while still incorporating all the Spider-Man stuff we like. With him having problems with the people he knows, and then the criminals he fights with. We get to see the little Christmas stuff going on. Christmas tree and his little Spider-Man puns, which are just hilarious. And because of the weather, because of the setting, it becomes very interesting on how he beats the bad guys. It's just super cool. And a little messages at the end. It's just sweet. If you want to see more episodes like this, please let me know in the comments down below. And like the video because it gets more engagement up. But hey, what did you think? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Have you watched it? Please let me know in the comments down below. And I hope everyone's having a good holiday, whether it's Christmas or on Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or any other holiday. Hope it's a good one. This has been Dunamite, and I hope to see everyone in the next video.